On this show, we cover some sensitive topics.
Though the obituaries may be outlandish, the people are real.
Names have been changed or omitted in order to respect both the deceased and the survived by.
While death is no laughing matter, some petty last words can provide some pretty entertaining comic relief.
Welcome to Obituary. Welcome back to Obituary. I'm Madison Reyes.
And I'm Spencer Henry.
Got him again. I feel like we're just like the loser parents. Like we're like the dad jokes.
Totally. I love it.
We're here to embarrass you. You guys, see, this is the thing. You guys think we're embarrassing ourselves on this show? No. We're embarrassing you.
You know when you like see someone, you're like, I'm embarrassed for them. Like, stop. That's like you guys right now in your car or cleaning your house.
Wherever you are. Last week, we posted our live show.
We did it.
We think you guys like it, or you're just being nice. No, it was so much fun to do, and it was such a good, I feel like, first run because we had a lot of people that I know there, and it was just fun. It was really fun to be able to, like, laugh, not just with ourselves. Totally.
It was definitely very fun. I would love to do it again.
We had it was like a very much like a friends and family type vibe, and so we were talking about it afterwards. Like, we can't wait to be able to go out there and do it with you guys because, like, as much as supportive as everyone is around us, we know, like, we want to be talking about with you guys.
With you guys get it. You guys know. When we talk about the Blood Eagle or funeral strippers, you're going to love it.
Or bitch-ass King William the
Eighth.
Oh,
I wish you guys were there. Or
King Henry the Eighth.
I wish you guys were there. You guys would have been like, yep, we don't fucking like him either.
Yeah, fuck him. I want to see, like, when we do our live show, I want to see someone in, like, a fuck King Henry the Eighth shirt.
I know, I love it.
Bring a sign.
Yeah, unless you guys can tell us something great that he did, I would love to know. Prove it.
Yeah,
we had such a great experience. We definitely, like, I don't think you and I were nervous until we, like, got there and started setting up our stuff, and then I was like, okay.
When we were waiting to go out,
well, so, okay.
And we were in the Airstream. Oh my God.
We recorded right in front of an Airstream, but then we're like, well, we would like to be announced, and we would like to walk out of the Airstream like we just traveled there in it. And I remember both of us, like, staring at each other in the dark in an Airstream like, we're doing it.
We're doing it. It's happening. And I'm so excited that it's done. So hopefully once we can secure a date for LA, obviously we'll let you guys know because we're so excited about it. And then, you know, next year, who knows? We could be popping out of an Airstream near you.
Perfect. You know what? Maybe we'll be popping out of an Airstream, or maybe we'll be popping out of a hearse. Maybe a 7-story hearse.
Imagine. Ooh, baby.
That'd be
like,
cool.
You know, in, like, concerts in the 90s when, like, the Spice Girls and everyone, they would, like, come down in a spaceship, or they would come out of these things.
Uh-huh.
Ours would be, like, a hearse.
Wait, speaking of the Spice Girls, can we talk about our way up there in the car?
Oh,
we had such a fun time.
Yeah, we had a Spice Girls sing-along. We were playing all the 90s jams on the way up.
S Club 7.
Big fan. Always a big fan. And on the ride back, we listened to, I had already listened to some of them, but we listened to the Lucy podcast that I was telling you guys about.
I thought you were going to say we were listening to Madison snoring.
My God. Oh my, you know, I don't think the clip shows you at all, so we might have to include that on the post for this week, the little video I have.
I was snoozing.
Knocked out. And my car is not, I don't drive a big car.
Yeah, it's a little Mercedes.
You were laid out in the back seat. Just like, it's a sedan. Like, I don't even know how you got comfortable. But you were back there and you were just snoozing, babe. I took a little video because I couldn't believe it. Like, we weren't even that far into the drive and I hear this sound and I'm like, oh God, is something wrong with my car? Like, what's going on? And I'll play the video for you guys. It's almost haunting, I would say.
I was tired. I was just
like fucking Homer Simpson in the backseat.
He really was. I snore. I know. It's bad. But I also am like a rock when I sleep. Like nothing will wake me up. So.
Oh, I know. I'm the one. I call you 84 times to get you to answer. Sometimes I'm like, come on, girl. I'll like text her husband or like sometimes I'll call him. I'm like, can you wake her up, please? Remember when I got, oh my God. Really quick. So one time Madison you were home. I think Cisco was off on the road traveling or something. And I got your keys from your neighbor and I walked into your living room. And you were just, which I mean, you can't do that to everyone, but with our type of friendship, you can fucking walk into the living room. And I walked in and she was startled.
I think I was asleep because sometimes if my husband travels, like I get weird sleeping in the bedroom. Like I want to be out in the living room just in case something happened. So I'm sure I was like out on the couch and I remember that.
You were like lethargic. You got up like, oh.
It scared me. Or there was that one time where you're like, okay, I'll come over in like an hour. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to take a little nap for like 30 minutes. And you watched me through the window. Like you like knocked on the door and I got up, but you watched me like get up all slow.
Honestly, it's not great for you because based on my experience breaking into your house with you asleep, it took you a second to get up. Like somebody would just take you out.
I just love to sleep. I love nap time.
Okay, we have to talk about fucking Squid Games, Madison.
Oh my God. Okay. I had seen the hype all over and I was like reluctant. I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I'll be into it.
Of course. I'm the same way. Whenever something is super trending and like big on TV, I don't know why, because I always end up loving it. But I'm like, no, I'm not going to watch it.
You just want to be different. No.
I just want to be different.
No, I know. And at first, I watched the first episode. I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to like this. Because Spencer, my hearing is not great. And like, I sometimes will watch stuff with subtitles. And so I was fine to have subtitles, but the dubbing was kind of hilarious.
It was off. Definitely. But I've seen people come out and say like the subtitles aren't accurate and that the dubbing wasn't translating correctly. I don't know. I thought it was fantastic. I'm not done with it.
I mean, regardless of whether it was accurate or not, it was really, the story was great.
So good. And so you told me you finished, right? You're done with Squid Games?
Yes.
I won't give any spoilers away, I don't think, but I'm on the marbles, or I just finished the marbles episode.
Okay, I think you have 2 more.
Yeah, but wow, holy shit. To me, it's like if you guys liked Black Mirror or anything like that type of vibe, I feel like you guys will really dig it.
Yeah, really brutal.
Very. The first episode, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
By the end of it.
I mean, it was definitely a testament to our society and money and how far you'll go.
Crazy. Speaking of things that I've watched, I was watching The View this morning. Because, as we know, I love to watch The View. Because I am a middle-aged woman. And they had the host of Shark Tank on as guest host.
Okay.
I immediately had to tune in because I'm a big Shark Tank fan.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's kind of private.
Oh, weird. I thought I knew everything.
Yeah, so looks like I'm keeping things spicy in our relationship. I'm just keeping some things from you. Everyone's got to have a little mystery. No, I go through waves with it, but I'll like binge watch them. Heidi, I used to have a roommate. Our office with the yellow couch used to belong to my friend Heidi, and she used to watch it all the time. And so I started watching it with her, but anyways, I love it. So they're chatting, and Damon, who is one of the Shark Tank hosts, talks about how he had like a very brief acting career. I guess he had to die in a movie one time. Well, then Joy Behar turns to Barbara Corcoran, who is another Shark Tank host, and is like, wait, funny you should mention dying in a movie. Barbara, didn't you have a funeral for yourself? And
what?
I love this so much. So Barbara, who's one of the hosts on Shark Tank, I guess found out that people were throwing her a surprise party. So she decided to get a coffin, and when the guest walked in, she instead surprised them because they all walked in, and she's just like laying there in this coffin.
What?
And I guess she had hired comedians dressed as a rabbi and a priest to do like a little back and forth bit about her, which I'm just like, I don't know. It was just goals.
Oh my God. Wait, she's the one with the short hair, right?
Yeah, I was dying at the end though because Joy can be kind of shady sometimes.
Yeah.
And under her breath, as they're like done talking about it, she's like, "Yeah, Barbara, you're strange, huh?" But it didn't land. Like I don't know if she's making a joke or just being shady, but I was like here for it.
Maybe it's like the euphemisms, like you're kind of funny that way, aren't you, Barbara?
You're funny that way, huh?
I saw her TikTok the other day, Barbara's. She like married her husband. Her husband kind of told her she'd never amount to anything, and then
it's an interesting story, right? They like she started working with him, I think initially, and then he's like, "You'll never be anything without me," and she's like, "Bye, I'm a bajillionaire now."
Yeah, I love it. I watched something interesting. So I will sometimes watch like the Vice documentaries on YouTube, and they did this side hustle series. And they interviewed people that had like these weird side hustles. They interviewed this guy, and it's like 8 minutes. It's pretty short, really easy to watch. I encourage all of you guys to watch it. But this guy is from, I believe, Houston, Texas. His name is Dr. Steven Polslanik, and he is a forensic pathologist.
Okay.
And the chief medical examiner for Fort Bend County. So his day job is to perform autopsies, and he said he's done well over 6,000 autopsies.
Wow.
But by night, he is a knife maker for Houston Edgeworks, which is his knife company. He says in it, he's like, my customers know what I do during the day. I don't know if they think it's creepy or not. He said, and he's like, he's not creepy at all. It's not weird. Like, he's very cute and charming. But he said that in 2013, his cooking was getting a lot better, but he was still having some limitations due to the knives not being great. And he said that like a light went off after that. And he was like, he asked himself, he's like, what knives do I use every day? My autopsy knives. Why don't I make a better autopsy knife? So he went and learned how to make knives and now makes custom knives for customers. And 40% of his business is from professional chefs. Celebrity chefs love his knives. He has a...
Really?
Yes. And it's funny because they go back and forth between his job at the morgue and his job at, like, in his little knife workshop. And they show him demonstrating an autopsy on a pig's kidney. And then it like cuts to him chopping up carrots and onions. And it's funny, but he was like, you know, we probably make the best chefs because it's all about like organs and tissues, and it was fascinating. But he has...
I hope he doesn't mix them up. I hope he doesn't mix up his knives.
Mix up his knives? Ooh, little extra flavor. His wait list is a minimum of 5 years to get one of his knives, and he was saying in pre-orders alone, I know, in pre-orders alone, he has like $275,000 worth of money in just pre-orders. So pretty crazy. But It's like an unlikely match, but I feel like it's a match made in heaven.
Knives Out, baby.
That's a great movie, by the way.
It is. I always get it mixed up because there was another one that came out like around the same exact time with like a rich family.
I know what you're talking about. And
I got hide and seek.
Something like that. I know exactly what you're talking about, though.
All right. Well, I think it's time we move into coffin spinners. I went first last week, and it's your turn to go first today.
Yes. Well, my wedding anniversary was, well, when you listen to it, it'll be like 2 weeks ago. I was just kind of in that mode. I was like looking through our old photos of our wedding. And so I started just thinking about marriage and all that stuff. And then I was looking into different marriage laws, and just there are so many weird ass marriage laws that just in the United States there's weird stuff, but I'll even go back to like medieval laws in this.
Laws?
Different laws and practices. A lot of these things are probably not enforced anymore, but I want to start out with a couple that are just funny. Marriage by proxy, which is actually, I think, a cool idea. It's a wedding where one or both people are not present. So it's typically for military personnel. If one of either the bride or groom, is maybe on duty, they can't be at their wedding, they will have somebody stand in.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. You can do this in California, Texas, Colorado, and Montana. And in Montana, you can do a double by proxy, which means neither person has to be there. They just get two stand-ins.
God, I would kill to not. They should do wedding guest by proxy if I ever have to go to another wedding. So help me God. I feel like I finally have moved past that phase in life. Like, I feel like in my 20s, I was in and went to so many weddings. I feel like it's starting to slow down now. People are just having kids now.
Yeah. Now you have to go through that.
You know what I do is I will send you a gift and I will call it a day.
Perfect. Marriage under the age of 18. You have to have parental consent if you want to get married to somebody under the age of 18, or if you are under the age of 18. You cannot already be married and or related. And we'll save the related part for Utah because you can get married to your first cousin there. And I think there's other states actually where you can get married to your first cousin. Jesus. All parents or guardians need to consent to this. And typically the minimum age for this is 16, which to me feels so young. And 18 even feels too young, but it's just crazy to me.
20 feels young.
It all feels too young. God. In Delaware, you can annul your marriage if it was a dare or like a prank. You can just get it annulled.
Ugh.
In Truro, Massachusetts, a man must prove himself by killing birds. He must either kill 3 crows or 6 blackbirds to prove that he is a good suitor.
Still?
Yeah. Again, these things are like traditions or some of them are law, but I don't know if they're still
like strictly enforced.
Yeah. In Hartford, Connecticut, you could be arrested for having PDA on Sundays because that's the Lord's Day.
Good.
Also, in Connecticut, it's illegal to dress up as a clown to try and alarm someone. Because remember a few years ago when that like whole viral thing was going on with clowns?
Yes, because I remember I was for work, my job at the time, I had to stay at this hotel in Bakersfield. And the hotel was actually cool. I forget the name of it, but it was actually like a cool hotel. But it was during that time when all the clowns were everywhere and there was like sightings of them in Bakersfield. So I remember like laying in my hotel room watching the news or whatever, and it was like talking about it, and I was like, okay.
Scary. If you are getting married in Marquesas Islands, relatives of the bride and groom lay on the floor creating a human-like rug. And the bride and groom are supposed to walk on top of them once the wedding is over.
Oh my God. As if I didn't want to go to a wedding enough. I'd be like, absolutely not.
Imagine grandma like, oh, I'm going to step on you.
Oh my God. Well, a lot of it depends on the bride and the groom because it's a different scenario every time. Some people I'd be like, sure, I love someone walking on my back. Some people I'd be like, wow, you put me through the floor, bitch.
I know. I am a rug now. In New Orleans, it's illegal to have your wedding officiated by a fortune teller or a palm reader. In Michigan, adultery is punishable by 4 years in prison or a $5,000 fine.
Wow. Some of
your what?
I was going to say some of my exes would be in trouble. I'd be the first to call the cops.
Okay, this next one I love. In Vermont, a woman needs written permission from her husband to wear false teeth.
What the fuck?
Okay, this article I read on Inside Edition says, quote, the rule was a result of the case Gilman versus Andrus, where in 1856, a man was ordered to pay for a plate of mineral teeth prepared for his wife. After the case was tried, Vermont legislature created a common law requiring women to provide dentists with written permission from their husbands in order to wear dentures. The case has
What?
The case has apparently never been overturned, but the law is no longer enforced. In Moscow, Russia, if you're getting married there, apparently there's a huge photo destination there referred to as the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. And so it's an actual gravesite of a soldier who died in World War II, but brides and grooms flock there and take pictures, lay down flowers, and pay their respects after their wedding. So like they'll also take like their pictures and stuff there. It's like, just thought that was weird. Like, we're going to go to the graveyard.
They have a lot of weird laws. Well, I don't think I'd fare too well over there. Russia is fucked up, but their politics and policies.
In medieval Ireland, there were temporary marriages. This article I read on Interestly.com said, quote, permanent, semi-permanent, and transitory marriages are allowed in Ireland. Married women were divided into 5 classes. 3 classes are those women who legitimately form formal unions. The other 2 are more open and include the marriage of wandering mercenaries. So, thought that was interesting. Now let's get into the brutal stuff. There's something referred to as sati, or also known as widow burning.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I found an article that describes it perfectly, and I didn't want to make any mistakes, so I'm just going to quote that article. It says, sati is the ancient Indian and Nepalese practice of burning a widow on her husband's funeral pyre or burying her alive in his grave.
What the fuck?
I know. This practice is associated with Hindu traditions. The name is taken from the goddess Sati, wife of Shiva, who burned herself to protest her father's ill treatment of her husband. The term sati can also apply to the widow who commits the act. The word sati comes from the feminine present particle of the Sanskrit word asti, meaning she is true/pure. While it has been most common in India and Nepal, examples have occurred in other traditions from as far afield as Russia, Vietnam, and Fiji. Now, a few different articles I stumbled upon talk about how having a husband and a wife cremated together was almost like a recreation of their marriage ceremony. And they were basically preserving the sanctity of marriage, essentially. And it was like a really celebrated thing. But it was banned in 1829 under the Bengal Sati regulation. But a few cases did pop up. And in 1987, so this is like recent, relatively recent. On September 4th, Roop Kanwar, an 18-year-old, had become a widow. She was only married to her 24-year-old husband for 8 months, but decided to perform sati in front of everyone who attended his burial. People who attended this talked about it as if she were a hero. She literally like threw herself on his fire. And so, yeah, so many people talked about her like she was like a god or a hero for doing this. And it led to a huge uproar, and thus came the act called the Sati Prevention Act of 1987, which made it illegal to abet in committing sati or the glorification of it. A little quote, which I think best represents this, on feminisminindia.com, says, "These cultural beliefs around this practice were aggressively supported and propagated by fundamentalist religious groups and locals alike, and thus became an important source for reinforcing oppressive customs against Hindu widows. However, opposition to this act was equally strong, and the practice was highly criticized for its atrocious and oppressive character." So I was just thinking, like, imagine, God forbid, your partner dies, and it's like so glorified to kill yourself with them.
Sorry, bye. Absolutely fucking not. I would never do that. I would never want anybody to do that for me. I would not do it, even if it was common practice. Absolutely not. I'm like, bye, see you later.
Absolutely fucking not.
Would you?
Absolutely not. Sorry. I wouldn't marry someone who would want me to do that. The anniversary of it was not too long ago, and I think it's been like, what, 40
maybe years?
Like 34 years, I think. 33, 34 years. And people still talk about this bride like she is super holy. Oh. She's dead. She was only 18.
Listen, there's certain things that I'm like, sure, if you want to pray to as many gods as you want, do whatever weird things you want to do. But if you're fucking throwing yourselves onto your husband's death flame, no
human
thanks.
Sacrifice or any type of sacrifice, I don't.
Ugh, dated.
Any living things sacrifice, I'm not here for it. Okay, but the last thing, it is my absolute favorite fucking thing ever. In medieval Europe, the same article I read about the temporary marriages in Ireland, they also talked about how in medieval Europe, there was something called marital combat. And this was used to solve domestic disputes. And it was like what it says, like it was a real combat. It was a fucking fight to the death, literally, between a husband and wife. And
to solve disputes?
Yes, and there are little diagrams and drawings of what it looked like, and we'll post it because it's hilarious. Men and women would wear these like tight little bodysuits with a hood, typically. And like this was like a real like thing. There were judges that judged it. Like it was like we're fighting in this competition, and you really have to hate your significant other. Typically, the man had to fight with one arm, and he had to be in a 3-foot hole because they thought women were much weaker and disadvantaged if a man fought, using his whole body, which is...
They didn't talk about this in what was that commercial with like Britney Spears and Pink and Christina Aguilera? Remember they're at like the Coliseum? It was like a Super Bowl commercial for Pepsi or something.
No, I don't remember that.
Really? They sing We Will Rock You. It's like Britney Spears, Pink, Christina Aguilera.
No,
Come on, you're a pop culture.
I know. I gotta look it up. God. Yeah, so the man had to fight with one arm behind his back in a 3-foot hole, and he only was able to have 3 wooden clubs to beat his wife. And the wife was armed with rocks. Typically, she had 3 of them, about 5 pounds and under, wrapped in cloth in a small sack, and they would just beat the shit out of each other. And this article says, quote, "The man could not leave his hole, but the woman was free to run around."
What?
No, wait. The man could not leave his hole, but the woman was free to run around the edge of the pit. If the man touched the edge of the pit with either of his hands or his arms, he had to surrender one of his clubs to the judges. If the woman hit him with a rock while he was doing so, she forfeited one of her stones. And then it says, bizarre as it may seem to us today, this marital duel was real. In the early medieval era, for both parties, the penalty for defeat could be death. If the woman won, the man was executed. If the man won, the woman was buried alive.
Oh my God.
Are you kidding me?
That is wild. Imagine you're like so mad at like, I don't even know.
Oh.
I mean, I'm more likely to do that than fucking throw myself onto my dead husband's grave. Sure.
Oh, I'm sure anyone in a relationship, there have been times where you're like, sign me up.
Give me the bag of rocks.
You put me on a hole. I don't care. I'm mad enough.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so that's my weird marriage laws, weird spousal things.
Whatever. While we're on the topic of marriage, this is perfect because first comes love, then comes marriage, then comes a baby, and sometimes the baby comes out after the mom is dead and buried.
Oh no.
This week, that's right, we are talking about the macabre history of coffin births, professionally referred to as post-mortem fetal expulsion.
Spencer, I'm scared.
I know. It's scary. We've touched on kind of before on the topic of bacteria and gases caused by bacteria causing ruptures or leakage or, well, exploding coffins, as we know, one of our favorites.
Yes.
The way coffin birth occurs is very similar. So during the decomposition process, as those natural gases begin to build up, the pressure that amounts can grasp the uterus, putting pressure on it, and basically it can cause your uterus to prolapse. Begging all of you to not Google what that looks like. Madison, based on your gasp, I'm sure you've seen a prolapsed something before.
I've seen a little rosebud, babe.
Fuck. Awful. So yeah, so basically it can prolapse. If there happens to be a fetus in there, it could be expelled from the body.
Oh boy. Okay.
An article on All That's Interesting said, quote, thanks to embalming practices, coffin births rarely occur these days. However, between the 1600s and the 1800s, it wasn't uncommon for a deceased woman to give birth. And while it says that, it's not, they make it sound like it happened all the time, and it definitely did not. The article is great. I'll link it, but basically it talks about, in this article, it talks about a woman that was hanged in 1551 during the height of the Spanish Inquisition.
Uh-huh.
I mean, because they were like killing people just for religious reasons or pretty much whatever in those days.
Yeah.
Well, the TLDR is that the woman was hung, and 4 hours later, 2 living babies fell out of her.
What?
I have no idea if they survived, but then there's this other story. It gets crazy. There's another story about a woman named, I think it's M Topless. I actually saw her story come up quite a few times when I was doing my research.
M Topless is a great name, by the way.
I know, it's like TOPLACE, and I'm like topless.
Oh.
I don't know. Well, anyway, so she dies. And I guess her husband was away when she died. They buried her pretty soon after she died. This was in 1650. Well, her husband comes back from wherever he was, goes to visit the grave where she was freshly buried, and he hears crying and is like, what the fuck is happening?
No.
Yes, he demands that they dig up her coffin. And sure enough, when the coffin was opened, it was discovered that she had given birth to a baby boy, and the baby lived.
What?
His name was Fils de la Terre, which I hope I'm pronouncing right, and it translates to son of the earth. Further reading made it look like she had only been buried for about 2 hours before the baby was discovered by her husband, the father, which is normal. A coffin birth usually occurs within the 48 hours, and most of the time, I would say more often than not, the baby obviously doesn't survive.
Oh my God, if he hadn't heard the crying.
Who knows? Coffin birth is very rare, especially obviously these days. When I heard about the story of M Topless, I was like, wow, like what a miracle, which truly it is. But my second thought was, thank God for the medical advances that we've made since then.
Oh my God. Who knows? Who knows where you would be born?
Who knows? I mean, they have like people now, like the I didn't know I was pregnant thing. I'm sure a lot of these people, they didn't know they were pregnant when they were burying them.
Yeah.
I read another article from the Smithsonian that talked about a story from the 7th century, which you remember the 7th century?
Yeah, that was the best century ever.
That was my second favorite century. So it's in the 7th century in the town of Imola in Italy. This woman, her tomb was discovered in 2010. They obviously don't know her name because it was from the 7th century. And they were shocked to discover a, quote, cluster of tiny bones between her legs. Scientists from the University of Ferrara estimated the woman to be anywhere from 25 to 35 years old when she died, and about 2 weeks from a full-term pregnancy. They also speculated that she was most likely buried purposefully, and they were mostly surprised because the mom had a hole in her skull, presumably the cause of death. It proved that she may have died pretty gruesomely, possibly from a practice called trepanation, which is a surgical procedure popular in the Neolithic era, where Madison, they would fucking drill.
No.
They would drill a hole into somebody's skull to relieve pressure, help with fevers or headaches or convulsions. So it's kind of like a lobotomy, but they would just like...
I have felt like that before with like a migraine. Like, can somebody just drive something into my head?
Literally, I actually wrote that in my notes because I was like, when I get migraines, I daydream about someone just drilling a hole into my head so that it would like relieve some of the pressure. But I was thinking, who was the first person to be like, a headache? Like, let's drill a fucking hole in your head.
Yeah.
And why did people let it happen?
I know. Why did people let any of this shit happen?
They're like, yeah, well, actually, while you're making fun of it, it cured all the headaches because everyone died.
Yeah. I guess so. It was a cure.
As I mentioned earlier, coffin birth is a rare occurrence, even rarer today, but it does still happen. So I read an article on the National Library of Medicine that talked about a 34-year-old heroin addict who died in her apartment from an overdose, and she was 8 months pregnant at the time. I guess when her body was discovered, the fetus was partially protruding from, quote, the woman's slip, which I'm like, is slip a medical term? Like, this was a case study written by like doctors and scientists, like slip. Have you heard that?
Did they mean like she was wearing a slip?
No, they referred to her slip. Well, maybe. I was like thinking like, but I thought they were saying another word for vagine, and I'm like, a slip? Slip? Did I read that right?
Oh no.
I think the way they say it though, the way they phrase it, I felt like they were using it as a word for it because
a little slip.
Little slip. Just a little one. Anyways, that baby died.
Oh God.
They found toxic levels of heroin in the infant as well. So he probably wouldn't have made it even if they found him.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's sad.
Sad. But it was really interesting because like it was one of those topics where sometimes random things will just pop into my head, and I was, you know what it was? It's a topic that I haven't talked about yet, but I'm going to soon. But it has to do kind of with childbirth and everything. And so I was like, that's what got me thinking about coffin births. And I was like trying to figure out what I wanted to talk about this week. I was like, coffin birth. And I never really had looked into it. Like I've heard the horror stories of like, people give birth in a coffin after death. But the actual history on it is pretty interesting.
Very interesting. Thank you.
And very sad.
Very sad. It's crazy what the human body does.
Totally. All right, let's take a quick break and then get into our obituaries.
Perfect.
We'll be right back.
And we're back.
Wow, okay, synchronicity. Look at us. You're up first this week. Who you got for me?
All right, I've got a little inappropriate one too, like yours a couple weeks ago.
Oh, perfect.
Chris died at age 67 after trying to box his bikini-clad hospice nurse just moments earlier. Ladies' man, game slayer, and outlaw, Chris told his last inappropriate joke on Friday, December 9th, 2016, that which cannot be printed here. Anyone else fighting ALS and stage 4 pancreatic cancer would have gone quietly into the night. But Chris was stark naked, drinking Vouv in a house full of friends and family as Al Green played from the speakers.
I love it.
I know, I love him. The way he died is just like he lived. He wrote his own rules, he fought authority, and he paved his own way. And if you said he couldn't do it, he would make sure he could. Most people thought he was crazy for swimming in the ocean in January, for being a skinny Irish Golden Gloves boxer from Quincy, Massachusetts, for dressing up as a priest and then proceeding to get into a fight at a Jewish deli. Many gawked at his start of a career on Wall Street without a financial background, but instead with an intelligent, impish smile, love for the spoken word, irreverent sense of humor, and stunning blue eyes that could make anyone fall in love with him. As much as people knew hanging out with him would end in a night in jail or a killer screwdriver hangover, he was the type of man that people would drive 16 hours at the drop of a dime to come see. He lived 1,000 years in the 67 calendar years he had with him because he attacked life. He grabbed it by the lapels.
Lapels.
He grabbed it by the lapels. Yeah. He grabbed it by the lapels, kissed it, and swung it back onto the dance floor. At the age of 26, he planned to circumnavigate the world. Instead, he ended up spending 40 hours on a life raft off the coast of Panama. In 1974, he founded the Quincy Rugby Club. In his 30s, he sustained a knife wound after saving a woman from being mugged in New York City. He didn't slow down. At age 64, he climbed to the base camp of Mount Everest.
Damn.
I know. Throughout his life, he was an accomplished hunter and birth control device tester with some failures, notably his daughter and his 2 sons. He was a rare combination of someone who had a love of life and a firm understanding of what was important, the simplicity of living a life with those you love. Although he threw some of the most memorable parties during the greater half of a century, he would trade it all for a night in front of the fire with his family in Maine. His acute awareness of the importance of a life lived with the ones you love over any material possession was only handicapped by his territorial attachment to the remote control of his Sonos music. Chris enjoyed cross-dressing, a well-made fire, and mashed potatoes with lots of butter. His regrets were few, but include eating a rotisserie hot dog from an unmemorable convenience store in the summer of 1986. Of all the people he touched, both willing and unwilling, his most proud achievement in life was marrying his wife, who supported him in all his glory during his heyday, and lovingly supported him physically during their last days together. Absolute Vodka and Simply Orange companies are devastated by the loss of Chris. A celebration of life will be held during happy hour at 4 p.m. at York Harbor Inn on Monday, December 19th.
I love that.
I love him. I think that's so true. The simplicity of living a life with those you love is the most important thing.
Agreed.
Believe it or not.
Believe it or not, we love Chris.
We love you, Chris. What about you?
I have Dennis Seikoshi. He was born on June 8th of 1991 in Wichita, Kansas, and had the nerve to leave the rest of us on February 21st of 2016 in Grand Rapids, Michigan, due to being too awesome to stick around this plane of existence. And also cancer.
Oh, no.
I know, but it sounds like he had just like the best sense of humor. Left behind are his parents and the love of his life, Natalie Vander Ark, a couple of fried motherboards, a modified to hell car, and the rest of us sorry saps who had the pleasure of knowing and therefore loving him. Dennis brought joy to everyone he met, once you got to know him. His work at Jimmy John's focused on the, quote, freaky part of Freaky Fast, and his work at ZBX Technology focused on the simplifying part of simplifying technology. Dennis was the kind of guy who could man a help desk and talk down the most inept of users with patience, turn around and destroy you in Super Smash Bros., then do burnouts in the parking lot with that piece of shit car he, quote, tuned. Some people have a way of knowing the perfect, most encouraging things to say. Dennis was not one of those people, and his willingness to share his thoughts wasn't always immediately appreciated. Life tried to kick him down, but Dennis kicked it back so hard his leg fell off.
No!
Whatever the circumstances, Dennis managed to stay the same sarcastic jerk everyone knew and loved.
Aw, Dennis!
I really liked it. I feel like I just love, like, the more we do these and the more shows we do, the more episodes we do, the more I fall in love and appreciate the humor that people put into obituaries sometimes, because I think it really just drives the point home of life is not that serious.
Totally.
Fucking just...
Right. And everything's going to be fine. Live your days to the fullest.
Or the lapels.
Just grab life by the balls.
Suck it. All right. I think it's time for some dumb
ass criminals. Okay, so Spencer, I did dumb criminals a little bit differently this week. I was on Reddit and I came across a thread, and it was someone, he was like, hey, any cops in here have dumb stories about criminals? And I went down this thread and was cracking up of all of these stories. Some were really funny, but I could just tell they weren't real. But there were some that were pretty realistic that had me cracking up. So I wanted to read some of those.
Oh my God, yes. I'm so excited.
Okay, here's the first one. So I get a call of a beer run, shoplifting, from the local CVS. I check the area and see two guys matching the description. I detain them, and sure enough, they had a couple Coronas and some off-brand whiskey. I confirm with CVS they were the suspects, the alcohol was their property, and they are desirous of prosecution. All is good. My state requires I take them to the station to book into jail and get fingerprinted. Then they are issued a citation and released with a court date a couple months out. While driving to the station, I asked what they were doing stealing the alcohol. One guy says that they are only 20, and since they weren't old enough to buy it, they just decided to steal it instead. No big deal. Young people make stupid mistakes. I get to jail, book them in, and start filling out the citation. The citation requires both birth date and age. I do the math on the birth date, and sure enough, the guy is 21. Meaning he is old enough to buy alcohol. I go back into the jail and verify his birthday. Yep, same one he had listed on his driver's license. I redo the math out loud, 21 years old. I ask, how old are you again? He replies, 20, sir. I said, you turned 21 last month. Again, he is adamant, no, I turned 20. I just left it at that. Stupid.
Dumbass.
Know your own birthday. Okay, this next one I love. My father is a police officer. He once told me a story of a call he went to for reports of a man and woman fighting in an apartment. Call came from neighbors for noise complaints / concern. He was third shift, so this was at some point very late at night when all the crazy people are up and at him. When he arrived, he could hear the yelling through the door. He knocked and let them know it was the police. There was immediate silence, and a man answered the door, completely naked.
Oh no, they were fucking.
No, wait. The naked man didn't even give my dad a chance to speak or ask questions. The first thing he said was, I don't have a knife behind my back.
Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here. Well, he definitely did have a knife behind his back. And the naked woman he was with had drugs, which was what they were fighting over. They both got arrested that night. Tip, don't do illegal drugs. And if you do, don't answer the door for the cops.
I love that.
My last one is, I'm a 911 dispatcher in Florida. Sometimes confused or drunk people knock on the wrong door or try to get into a house thinking it's theirs, but it isn't. It's an honest mistake, but the homeowner is rightfully very afraid, thinking they are about to be robbed or worse. Well, I had this kid, must have been in his early 20s and clearly stoned, call me going absolutely crazy that someone is trying to kill him and take his property. I send units, code 3, to this guy thinking it's a burglary in progress. Turns out the guy ordered a pizza and forgot about it. Scared the delivery guy half to death.
Oh my
Wait,
God.
one more, just like a little tiny one. This person wrote in, was saying they're not a cop, but about 10 years ago, they were held up and robbed by 3 people with knives. And I guess the guy held a knife to his throat and said, "If you ever tell the cops my name is so-and-so, I will slice your throat right now."
Wait, was it?
It was his name, so he went home and called the cops, gave him his name, and they were arrested.
God damn it. People are so fucking stupid.
Dum-dums.
Dumb.
What about you? What dum-dum do you have for me?
Ooh, we've got a theme. Okay, so a cult babe or an obitch babe. I don't know. I don't know what they're called. What are you guys called? Do we have a name for you yet?
Do you guys want to be bitches?
Yeah, what do you want? Let us know in the comments.
Yes, let us know.
Someone sent me a tweet that was someone who, whether it was a cult babe or an obitch, sent me a tweet that was this mugshot of some guy, and it was a tweet from CBS News with the headline, "Florida man, 37, arrested for kidnapping 27 people and forcing them to play Yahtzee for 36 hours straight."
Wait, you love Yahtzee!
I was losing it because that is me, and I'm like, I must have talked about Yahtzee on an episode somewhere because I was losing it. I was like, Jesus Christ. Well, I looked into it, and unfortunately, this story was proven false by Snopes, which I'm like, come on, Snopes.
Come
Why you always
on.
gotta snitch?
I know.
Snitches. So while that wasn't real, this is. It was June of 2007. Of course, it also takes place in Florida, in a Tampa neighborhood. It's a Saturday night, and 49-year-old Mark Allen was playing a game of Yahtzee with 47-year-old Edith Elliott at her house.
Yahtzee!
Yahtzee. At some point, they get into an argument, which is understandable. Yahtzee can really get you going.
Oh, yeah. You got me into it. I love it now.
So they get into this fight, right? Edith goes into her bedroom with her boyfriend. Her boyfriend comes home and she's like upset. She goes into the bedroom. Well, Mark kicks down the bedroom door, tries to fight her boyfriend. They get into a scuffle. Mark stabs him in the stomach twice, and he fucking died at the hospital, dude.
Over a game of Yahtzee?
Over Yahtzee. Imagine he's like, it was a large straight.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm like, God, that's 3 of a kind.
I picture, no, that's some like fucking upper score 63 type shit.
What's the one where you have like a free one? What's that one called?
That he took a chance.
He took a chance.
He took a chance. Now he's just probably in a jail cell somewhere going, Yahtzee, 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 Yahtzee.
He probably plays Yahtzee in the yard.
Yahtzee.
Do you guys want to play a game with me? I love this game.
Come on. They're like, hey, why are you in here? He's like, I did the Yahtzee. Got involved in some real bad stuff. You ever heard of the game? Little 5 dice and some scorecards.
Oh
God.
Man, I love that.
Dumbasses.
My face hurts from smiling so much this episode.
Good.
I'm like, my muscles around my mouth are like hurting.
Ooh, strong mouth.
No, weak.
Flex them for me. Oh, God. Dumbasses. Well, that's all for this week. We'll see you guys next week with some more coffin spinners.
Obituaries.
And dumb
Ass
criminals. Don't forget to follow along online at Obituary Pod. Don't forget to write to us, obitpod@gmail.com. And also, don't forget to rate and review. Bye.
Bye.